Hello everyone, welcome. Thanks for joining me. Who fancies an adventure? Great, come on, let's do it. This is my perfect woodlands. Soaking wet. A bit too warm for me, but you know. So I suggest we start by going through a hedge backwards. I bet that explains things. So let's just go and see what we can find. I have no real plan, but that's how woodland magic works. Now this looks like an already made den. Wow, look at that. Should we go in? Oh, mind your head. Wow, look at that. What do you reckon? Do you reckon the muntjac hides in here? The muntjac is a kind of deer that's a bit like a pig. Obviously they're not native and they tend to bite trees sort of about that height from the ground and ring bark them, eat the bark all the way around, and then that's the tree gone. So they're not very liked actually. Ooh. Now we have a choice. I'm tempted to go straight down. I know it's through a patch of periwinkle, but sometimes these things have to be done. And look at that on the floor. All the seed heads of the bluebells. They weren't as good this year, but there's still bluebells. Keep your eyes peeled for pheasant. There's one wandering through. Now, if you didn't know better, you'd say it's black wood. And looking at that bark, I'd say this is a willow, isn't it? Isn't that the bark of a willow? Pussy willow. It obviously fell over, look. But it's quite magical and tribal with the diamond patterns. Look at that. Okay. Now the dying leaves and seed heads of the ramsons. And if you can smell, oh, I'm stuck. Bear with me, thanks. Yeah, dying back and dying off. And we come to one of the ladies of the wood. In fact, this might be a gentleman of the wood. And sadly, yep, sadly the ash dieback might get it. But isn't it? Look at that, the twist. You can see the twist on the bark as it goes up there. What would you say it was? That's an anti-clockwise twist, which, that is, nature does tend to grow anti-clockwise. You know, no matter what the magic books will tell you, but it's a wonderful tree. To lose trees like this in the middle of woods is undesired. I mean, look at that bark, look at it. kind of rough, but can you hear that? Almost sounding hollow. Now when I was a child, there were some books. They were very posh, I would say, but they were about this bear called Rupert. But I wasn't a big fan of Rupert. I was a big fan of all the characters that appeared. And this thing, that's like Raggetty. And if anyone ever read Rupert books from the late 60s, early 70s, you'll remember Raggetty. Raggetty was one of the wood spirits that I got introduced to via those kind of books, because they were all about roaming in the countryside. And basically I grew up not too far from countryside, so it was up the road and there we were, in it. Should we take a look back? Because it's a beautiful scene. Look at that. If only I could put onto the camera what this actually feels like. And even if a slight bit of it comes across to you, then my work is done. Right, these are just fantastic places. And you know, it doesn't take long to plant from scratch to get somewhere like this. Obviously, a tree like that wouldn't exist, but look at this. Look at that for a twist. If you know your trees, you'll recognise that as a hazel. Now, I'm thinking we go across this way. Because there's the stream there. Down. So can you see it? Below that tree, that line. And along there. And round. That's... This is partly the reason why I thought you might like to come here, because we can see how well the Whirlpool, the Waterfall Whirlpool Bridge is doing. And yes, it's a 3-in-1. Now, this is something that not many people like in this country, seeing in the woods, but we're keeping an eye on this, and if I'm honest, it hasn't really moved or grown that much. And I'm quite happy that this is the only one. Flowers are just a bit over now. I apologise for any aeroplane noise. I can't. If I could control them, I certainly would. But anyway, we'll have to continue with that ruining things. Or not, if you can block it out, great. That's an ash there in the centre. That's quite an old one as well. I like the way the dead branch is looking from here. Dead branch is a tree, isn't it? So let's go via. Look at that. Look at that. Coating all the way up. That shows you just how damp this is in here. But all of these down here have got moss right the way up. Now, some of this ground is actually quite hard to walk on. I mean, look at this. Cleavers covering up lots of debris and holes. Duck. Yeah. And people are into woods, and obviously you there coming with me just love how wood decays, the sculpturalness of it. I mean, look at those colours. I know the rain's brought it out, but it's just, sometimes it's orgasmic. There's another older tree. Now, duck again. And this is a... Can you go up or under or over? Okay. Right, look at this. Is this bastard rhubarb? Does anyone know? It's not Gunnera. Is it bastard rhubarb? I mean, look at the size of these leaves. They are massive. Look at that in there. Now that's a sight you don't meet every day. Let's continue. It is amazing, this stuff, because in the spring it starts off kind of like that, but also like a little cauliflower, but smaller than my fist, and grows into this. And this is one of the most amazing things here. Look at that tree growing off that branch, which is a dead ash. It's not an epiphyte, it's sown a seed there, and it's obviously tapped into some of the arteries that goes down into the earth. There's a pollarded willow, must have been pollarded last year. I guess it got hit by a tree, actually. Wouldn't be surprised, because there are a lot of poplars over that side that keep crashing down. It's a bit like a tropical area, isn't it, with these? Wow, a butterfly lawn, buttercup lawn. Well, here we go, can you hear the water? That certainly is sounding. It's got a lot busier than it has been, because it dried up after you've probably seen the videos of it going crazy here. Well, it dried up after then for a while. If you haven't seen the videos of it going crazy, check them out. I would link to, but I can't remember which ones they are. So I'll try and link it, but I forget when I upload sometimes. So apologies for that. Well, let's take a walk up here. Let's take you to the Hornbeam Avenue. I call it the Hornbeam Avenue. For those of you who are interested in the woodland nature side of my videos, I've got another channel called Woodland Temple, which you can check out if you want. That just deals with woods and trees. We're mostly walks without me talking. There's a few of me talking, but I will do one about that, but it's not going to be nice. But you know, there is a lot of sadness in nature. Death and destruction is part of it, whether natural or unnatural. But here in front of us, look at these absolutely beautiful hornbeams. Some of them have died. Looks like there's a new one coming. But look, let me take you here. Look at that. Beautiful curve there. Beautiful, beautiful curve. There's something about curves and arches. Or is that me just being male? I know, they just, oh. Sometimes I'm lost for words. But down here, often in the spring, they won't be there now, grows those little white things. I thought they were broom rape, but they're not. There's something else. And I now forget what their name is. So that's really helpful for you. Okay, well I guess we'll go along here. Oh, look at these. I love little things like that. See, here's some older ones. That one's gone, but look at what the woodpecker's been doing. Woodpecker and beetles have been having this. Now, you see that? That is the telltale bootlace sign of honey fungus. Talking of death in the woods, that's basically tree killer. And it doesn't help that you can eat it, but I'm now suspecting that the reason that's dead, that other one down there is dead, the reason this one doesn't look too healthy, and the reason that those two are down is because of that. Oh, look at these roots. Look at that. I know it's down to erosion, but you have to appreciate the beauty in everything. Well, we're actually on the other side of the stream now. And we've reached the stile. So thanks for joining me. Join me next time. Check out Woodland Temple if you want. There's some good footage in there. I'm really pleased with a lot of the recent footage I've been getting. Seeing as I have access to these beautiful places, it's nice to share them with everyone. See you later.